Some footballers are remembered for their talent, others for the trophies they've won. But there are some whose names are written in history with emotion, with pain, with loyalty. Fernando Torres, El Niño, a legend born at Atletico Madrid, a rising star at Liverpool, a debated player at Chelsea, a hero of Spain's golden generation. Here is the real story of Fernando Torres, with his ups, downs, and turning points. Fernando José Torres Sanz was born on March 20th, 1984, in the town of Fuenlabrada, near Madrid. His idol was the Japanese cartoon character Captain Tsubasa. Just like Tsubasa, he dreamed of becoming a football star. At 17, he made his debut for the first team. And at 19, he became captain of Atletico, a club struggling to avoid relegation. They called him El Niño, the kid, but he was already a leader. Atletico was going through tough times. The squad was weak, and the club was battling economic crises. But Torres kept scoring double-digit goals every season, giving hope to the fans. Manchester United, Chelsea, Juventus, Milan, Real Madrid. They all came knocking, but Torres turned them down, because Atletico was his childhood love, until the summer of 2007. In 2007, Fernando Torres moved to Liverpool for a fee of £26.5 million. And he was beginning to make a powerful name for himself in the football world. That season, he scored 24 goals in the Premier League, achieving a major success. But that was just the beginning. Torres was not just a goal scorer at Liverpool. He was becoming the symbol of the team. His partnership with Steven Gerrard became one of the most impressive duos of that era. By combining Gerrard's long passes with Torres' speed and finishing, they formed one of the Premier League's most dangerous pairings. For Liverpool fans, every match felt like a Torres day, because he seemed to score every week, leading his team to victory after victory. Torres had become a star, not only in England but worldwide. The lightning-fast goals he scored at Anfield left opposition defenders frozen. Especially his goals against Chelsea became synonymous with his speed and power. His brilliant dribbles against Arsenal were etched in the memories of football fans, with each goal being almost like a work of art. He had become not just the Premier League's, but the world's most feared forward. Another unforgettable moment came at the 2008 UEFA European Championship final. The goal he scored against Germany showcased not only his greatness in club football, but also his incredible ability on the international stage. That goal made him a national hero, leave Anfield seeking a new challenge where he could win more trophies. He had experienced an incredible period at Liverpool, but the club's situation at that time wasn't enough for him to fulfill his dreams.
Lo que sucede en ese periodo de tiempo es que nadie se preocupa por el Liverpool ni sus aficionados. El club en la parte directiva no existe. En ese momento hay personas que están de paso en el proceso de venta del club a las que no les importa absolutamente nada el Liverpool, ni ninguno de los jugadores personalmente, que el club está destruido internamente. Y eso necesita muchos años para recuperarse. Yo no tengo ese tiempo.
In the winter of 2011, football fans were hit with a huge surprise. Fernando Torres, in a move that shook the football world, transferred from Liverpool to Chelsea. This transfer caused a massive stir, not only in the football world, but also among Liverpool fans. For many, moving to Chelsea was seen as a betrayal. Liverpool was everything to Torres, and he had embraced the club like a way of life, a love. But now, those same fans would have to see their former hero in another club's jersey. It became one of the most controversial transfers in the club's history. Some Liverpool fans saw this as nothing short of betrayal, and in protest, they started burning Torres' shirts. The hero of Anfield, the player who had scored goals week after week, was now headed to Stamford Bridge as Chelsea's new star. It was a huge blow for both the club and the fans. The disappointment of those who wanted him to stay at Liverpool deepened as he started playing for Chelsea. This wasn't just a breaking point in football, it was an emotional one as well. After moving to Chelsea, things didn't go as he expected. Torres was far from the fast, fearsome striker he had once been. He scored his first goal for Chelsea 903 minutes after leaving Liverpool, a far cry from his star-studded days at Anfield. He couldn't find that old confidence and struggled with injuries. As time passed, the distance between him and the fans grew. They wanted to see the old Torres, the one with speed and finishing skills, but he couldn't meet those expectations. Gradually, fans began to see his move to Chelsea as a mistake. However, one of football's strange and unpredictable aspects is that even in the darkest times, a player can still create unforgettable moments. In 2012, during the UEFA Champions League semi-final, Torres scored a goal against Barcelona at Camp Nou, which became a piece of football history. That goal took Chelsea to the final, and Torres was, in a way, reborn. The goal earned him a special place in Chelsea fans' hearts, and he became a crucial part of the team. But the story didn't end there. The Champions League final was a historic moment for Chelsea, and this victory marked the greatest achievement of Torres' career. After leaving Liverpool, winning the Champions League with Chelsea made him feel like a hero rising from the ashes. After his time at Chelsea, Fernando Torres reached another turning point in his football career. In 2014, he was loaned to Milan, marking his entry into Serie A. However, this move signaled not a new chapter, but a period where his decline became even more evident. Though his transfer to Milan began with hope of reaching new heights, the results were disappointing. Even in his first few matches in Serie A, it quickly became clear that Torres could not find his old form. He had lost his speed, his ball control wasn't as effective as it used to be, and his finishing had declined. Milan fans expected him to have the same impact as he did at Liverpool, but he was no longer the same Torres. He was just a shadow of his former self. Without the legendary goal scorer of the past, he struggled to make an impact on the field. Day by day, Torres slowed down further, and the confidence that once defined him as a top striker began to vanish. After the disappointment at Chelsea, he found himself experiencing the same struggles at Milan. Constant injuries were taking their toll, physically setting him back. He was no longer watching his rise to the top, but his decline. In many matches, he couldn't deliver what was expected. And Milan fans, who had high hopes for him, were left disappointed. Yet there was still a Torres who believed in the magic of football. He hadn't lost his old hunger. He just couldn't find himself in this new environment. By the end of his time at Milan, Torres didn't leave the kind of impact that would be remembered for years to come. However, the most notable feature of that period was that Torres still felt a fire burning within him. He still carried the hope of one day returning to his old club, Atletico Madrid. While he hadn't regained his old form at Milan, Atletico Madrid remained a legendary home for him. Torres, like in his prime, wanted to score goals again and return to his old self. But this time, his goal wasn't just to prove himself. It was to reach the peak once more at his dream club, Atletico Madrid. He was searching for that lost hunger, and one day, returning to Atletico would be the key to rediscovering his faith in football. In the 2008 European Championship, his goal against Germany didn't just bring the trophy, it ended Spain's 44-year drought. That night, he became a national hero. At the 2010 World Cup, injuries held him back. He wasn't at his best, and David Villa carried the scoring load. Though his impact on the pitch was limited, Torres remained a key figure in team spirit. And when Spain won their first ever World Cup, he was part of history. In Euro 2012, Torres made a strong comeback. He scored a goal and provided an assist in the final against Italy, winning the tournament's Golden Boot. With 110 caps and 38 goals for the national team, he stood alongside legends like Iniesta, Xavi, and Villa. A quiet but powerful force, Torres secured his place in Spain's golden era. In 2015, Fernando Torres returned to Atletico Madrid, the club where it all began. Fans welcomed him with open arms, not just as a player, but as a symbol of the club. Though he was no longer in peak form, he played with passion and heart every time he stepped onto the pitch. The bond with the Vicente Calderón crowd was instantly rekindled. During his second spell, Torres took on a leadership role. He guided young players, scored crucial goals, and showed his loyalty at every turn. The highlight came in 2018 when Atletico won the Europa League. It was Torres' first major trophy with his boyhood club, a perfect farewell gift. For Torres, this return wasn't just about football. It was about following his heart back to where he truly belonged. His final stop was Japan. Wearing the Sagan Tosu jersey, he scored a few last goals. He wasn't as fast as he once was, but he never lost his passion or sportsmanship. In 2019, with tears in his eyes, Fernando Torres said goodbye to football. After retiring, Torres stayed out of the spotlight for a while, but in 2021, he came back, muscular, fit, and transformed. Not just his body, but his eyes told a different story. More focused, more determined. He took charge of Atletico Madrid's U19 team. Quietly, he began a new chapter, with one clear goal: to one day become the head coach of Atletico Madrid's first team. And everyone who knows him believes that day will come.